Monday is Veterans Day, and today we are focusing on some veterans who are forgotten. Veterans who helped the United States but never really received any credit. It leads us to today's special, Fleeing Home, Hmong Memories of the Secret War. Hmong soldiers fought secretly under the CIA in Laos during the Vietnam conflict. When the U.S. pulled troops out of the region, those allies had to fight and run for their lives. Today, many of those Hmong soldiers now live here in Minnesota. Their Veterans Day story goes back to what's called the Secret War. It's here in St. Paul at Wellness Adult Day Services where Brooklyn Park resident Vang Kai Yang feels the most joy. Shooting pool, spinning the wheel, and competing in bingo. You can call it his American dream. Because what got him here meant putting his life on the line for American soldiers.
I was 22 years old when I joined the Special Guerrilla Unit. Communist North Vietnam wanted to take over neutral countries like Laos. We had to protect our country.
The United States CIA secretly recruited tens of thousands of Hmong soldiers like Vang Kai to fight against communists during the Vietnam War. Vang Kai eventually became a major, leading 400 soldiers at one point.
One of our duties was to protect the Ho Chi Minh Trail so communists couldn't go through the border.
The Hmong recovered downed airmen and guarded American bases. General Vang Pao led the Hmong soldiers.
So many people got killed. You can't count it all.
Thousands of Hmong civilians began to leave the mountains. Many died of hunger and disease. Others were killed in communist ambushes. Vang Kai fell back into the jungle.
We were very poor in the jungles. We ate leaves and whatever we can find. We did what we could to survive.
It took 3 years before Vang Kai would reach a refugee camp in Thailand.
The CIA, the Laotian government, discussed about the future of Laos. Finally, they promised to work together.
Dr. Yang Dao was a politician of the Kingdom of Laos. He explains outside military involvement in Laos was not supposed to happen because of the Geneva Agreement.
If the USA didn't do anything to protect Southeast Asia, the communists would expand from China to North Vietnam, from North Vietnam to South Vietnam to Laos.
Yang Dao says a peace agreement was signed in 1973 to end the Vietnam War. But when the U.S. withdrew its troops, communists jumped at the opportunity to invade Laos and its neighbors. That left U.S. allies like the Hmong people in danger. Many fled for their lives.
37 people in my family, in 4 small cars. Could you imagine?
Yang Dao's family escaped in the early morning of May 15, 1975, slipping past 3 communist checkpoints.
All the barricades have left it, and the communist soldiers were sleeping.
Then Yang Dao used motorboats to get his family across the Mekong River, finally reaching refuge.
I was 11.
Thousands of others crossed the same river, like Phong He and his family.
My father.
Phong He was only a kid when he saw his village become a battleground. He's family relocated to the capital of Laos, where they helped Hmong civilians escape.
My father had to turn our home in Vientiane almost like an underground railroad, where we transfer Hmong people to live in our house and make them look like the local, and then, find an escape plan for them to come to Thailand.
1/3 of the Hmong population left Laos, and even when they reached a refugee camp, there was misery.
The Thai people did not treat us good. They would arrest people for no reason and send them to prison. They also rob and kill people.
Yang Dao and others pleaded with U.S. and France to let Hmong refugees into their countries.
They call us the male people. are illiterate people who would not be able to integrate themselves to the modern society.
I remember
The first wave of Hmong civilians were able to come to the United States in 1976, including Phong Her. Now, Her serves as a Minnesota senator, fighting for a change before it's too late.
Special Guerrilla Unit, or SGU, should have the same access to veteran benefit as anybody else.
The U.S. Veterans Affairs says under the law, the Hmong soldiers are not veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces because they served as an ally and not in the U.S. military.
I know there's some complexity involved, but the process is long overdue.
Minnesota lawmakers were able to pass a new state holiday marking May 14th as Hmong Special Guerrilla Unit's Memorial Day.
We also passed here in state Minnesota to build a Secret War and Laos Veteran Memorial.
Today, that memorial stands on the grounds of the state capitol, honoring the 35,000 Hmong soldiers that died during the Vietnam conflict. But for the 6,000 Hmong veterans that are still alive, like Vang Khai, who before never had a country to call their own.
Now that we made it to America, we need to do well.
They now are grateful to have a country to call home. Hmong veterans in Minnesota currently do not receive state benefits, but lawmakers are keeping an eye on a proposed bill in Wisconsin that would give veteran status to Hmong soldiers. For CCX News, I'm Pafu Yang.
It's been quite a season for the Champlin Park football team, and it'll continue in the week ahead. The Rebels face Rosemount in the Class 6A quarterfinals. First quarter, and Rebels quarterback Jace Miller keeps the ball himself and runs it in 12 yards for a touchdown. The point after fails. It's 6-0 Champlin Park. Second quarter and a 4th and 1 for Rosemount. The Rebels 24. Christian Grasky finds an open lane down the sideline. He's in for the touchdown. And following the point after, it's 7-6 Irish. Champlin Park, though, comes back on its next drive. Miller takes it again. He reaches the ball over the goal line for a TD, and the Rebels take a 13-7 lead into halftime. And they dominate play in the second half. On 4th and 6 from the Rosemount 18, a screen pass from Miller to Darius Givens, and he maneuvers his way into the end zone. That puts Champlin Park ahead 20-7. They win at 34-7. They'll play Lakeville North in the 6A semifinals Thursday at 7 at US Bank Stadium. The girls' hockey season is getting started. Champlin Park Coon Rapids is skating towards a strong season. It's so far so good for the Champlin Park Coon Rapids girls as they skate into a new season. Early practices and a series of scrimmages in Grand Rapids have gone well.
I think we did very well. We won 4 games in the last 2, and we played some good teams, so we competed well.
We played really well. We're connecting really good, and our passes are great. Everyone's looking for the right options and making good plays.
And we played really good hockey up there. So I think the makeup has kind of gone away. And now we're in our 3rd year of this being the CPCR program, and we really feel like we've only gotten kids now that have really kind of been in this program. So we're not really fighting the stigma of, hey, I'm Champlin Park, hey, I'm Coon Rapids.
The Bluebirds have 14 letter winners back from a team that won the West Division of the Northwest Suburban Conference last season. The conference won't be split into 2 divisions this year. They do have to replace some key players, including standout goalie Bailey Schuck, but there is some depth and young talent.
There's a lot of young players that are going to step up this year. The majority of our team is pretty young, so they're going to be good for us and do good things for us this year and following years.
We've got a nice group of young kids that we brought up that are sophomores this year. Molly Terabeza, Brooke Del Castillo, Jaden Herr, Abby Ness, and I think those kids will do a great job for us.
Though they did win 14 games last winter, CPCR went out in the first round of section play, losing to Rogers in OT. Playoff success has eluded them, and changing that's a top priority.
At least winning our first section game, we haven't done that very much in the past, and I think that's one goal that we should strive.
A challenging schedule should have Champlin Park Coon Rapids ready for postseason play. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports. And they open the season Tuesday when they host Totino Grace at Coon Rapids Ice Center. Well, the Wayzata volleyball team qualified for its first state tournament since 2010. The Trojans faced first-time entrant Elk River in the Class 3A quarterfinals. It's back and forth early in set one. Olivia Johnson with the back set to Elizabeth Helmick for the attack. Wayzata leads at 10-9. They start to pull away as Lily Emlong's change of pace hit here will drop in. The Trojans go up 17-11. Katie Revere ends the first set with back-to-back ace serves as second seed Wayzata wins the first set 25-14 over the Elks. The second set is more competitive. Elk River's Kennedy Gleason gets the kill here to tie the score at 14-14 as the Elks play a stronger middle set. But the Trojans win it. Sophie Jesuits cuts it cross-court on set point as the Trojans take the set 25-23 to take command. They get the sweep, and they also swept North St. Paul in the semifinals and are facing Egan for the title. We'll have highlights Monday on our Sports Jam and CCX News shows, plus Wayzata football.